To begin learning manual wheelchair skills is to learn something about yourself, your wheelchair, and wheelchair skill technique. By combining this knowledge with judgment, patience, and practice, you will begin to develop the solid skills necessary to be an independent wheelchair user, accessing the community in which you live. This beginning starts by examining what you know about yourself, your attitude, because it relates to how you approach a given task, your physical condition, for knowing the limits of your endurance and strength, and your disability, to understand your needs and limitations both for safety and to recognize that point when you can stretch beyond any stated limit. Though classed into the general motor control categories of paraplegia and quadriplegia, your particular disability will be unique in its effect on your muscle strength and function, unique in the time that will be necessary to achieve your own level of independence. With each individual, there can exist complicating factors that will affect skill performance, such as spasticity and pain, weight distribution and impairment of vision and/or judgment, limited range of motion, and progressive degeneration, just to name a few. So the wheelchair skill techniques learned from general examples may have to be adapted to meet individual needs. More and more, wheelchairs are made to suit the needs of the user. They're made of lighter and stronger materials, with features adapted and adjustable to the differences in disabilities and comfort requirements. It's important to understand that features and feature placement can be key to optimum skill performance and comfort. So try variations till you find what works best for you. Skill technique varies user to user, but there are some general technique guidelines. These guidelines are demonstrated in this program by the paraplegic using a manual chair. Technique variation for quadriplegics will follow. What will look easy is presented in this program by experienced wheelchair users. You will find requires work and patience. Skill technique is an interplay of forces, so be aware of the occurring forces, forces you apply and forces you control. To propel the wheelchair forward, reach back and grip the push rim and tire. Grip the push rim with your fingers, resting your thumb and palm on the tire surface. Think of your tire as a clock face, and grip the push rim and tire at the 10 o'clock position and push through to 2 o'clock, or the limit of your range of motion. Now, if you're using high mount wheel locks, be careful not to jam your thumb when pushing. Your first few strokes will be power strokes with a tighter grip until you build up momentum. Once in motion, loosen your grip and just catch the tire. Develop a steady rhythm, giving equal force to each arm. You can also take advantage of your gained momentum by allowing your chair to coast every few strokes, giving your arms a brief rest. Controlling your speed by either slowing or stopping is accomplished by simply applying pressure on the tires and hand rims. Pressure should be applied evenly on both tires to keep the chair from turning. To go backward, pull back evenly on each tire and hand rim from the 2 o'clock position through 10 o'clock, or the limit of your range of motion. Be careful. A forceful stroke backward combined with a stopping force grip can cause the chair to tip over backward. A slight forward lean combined with a slowing grip is required to counter this tendency. A stationary turn is a simple maneuver that is easily accomplished. To turn from a stopped position, push forward on one tire and push rim while pulling back on the other. Or you can simply pivot by holding one tire stationary. Place your hands at approximately the same reach, 10 and 2 o'clock, the hand in front being the direction of the turn. Pull back and push forward with equal force. Turning while in motion is accomplished by adding drag to the tire in the direction of the turn, while applying forward motion on the opposite tire when necessary. The greater the pressure, the quicker the turn. Many turns are completed with the aid of environmental stationary objects, a wall or something firmly placed. Approach an object around which you would like to pivot with adequate momentum. Reach out just ahead of your chair, contacting the object with your hand. As you apply a slowing motion with your pivot hand, your center of gravity will pivot, turning your chair around the corner. You can also pivot by trailing your arm and catching the object just before you want to turn. Watch your speed and the timing of your release on the object. With a delayed release, you may turn into the wall. Be aware of the stationary objects along the routes you take. Be aware of how you can make them work for you, whether pivoting in a turn or push-pulling through a door. An inclined surface requires a significant increase in energy to go up and greater control coming down. Be aware of your strength and endurance limits. When going up an incline, forward lean is important to compensate the chair's tendency to tip backward and possibly over. If you are wearing an orthotic device, you may not have that ability. You should therefore feather your strokes, giving shorter, less forceful, quicker strokes. If a railing is available, you may decide to use it to assist in push-pulling up the incline. Push on the outside tire while at the same time pulling up on the rail. As you go down an incline, it is important to control your speed. Increase grip pressure on the rims and tire, or evenly apply a slowing pressure to the wheel locks. Balance, a measure of wheelchair control, can be accidentally lost when additional weight or force is applied off the chair's center of gravity. So to make balance a valued skill, be aware of the occurring forces and practice their control. There are two types of controlled balance, or wheelie: static and dynamic. Dynamic elevation is a wheelie completed while still in motion. It is a skill useful for descending inclines as well as crossing rough or uneven surfaces. The static wheelie is completed from a stopped position. This allows a growing confidence in the control of your chair and provides a foundation for the dynamic wheelie. Your first experience maintaining balance will be practicing the static wheelie, and it should be assisted. Start by repositioning or removing the anti-tip bars. Then, after sitting back into your chair, you will be assisted into the wheelie position and provided support as you get the feel for your center of balance with minimal risk. This gives you a chance to practice the corrective measures necessary to maintain that position. With confidence in your new sense of balance, practice the skill unassisted, though you may want a spotter nearby. From the 2 o'clock position, roll back until your hands are at 10 o'clock and give a quick, forceful push evenly on the push rims and tires while maintaining a normal sitting position. Your chair setup will affect your ease of tipping. This should elevate your front end while at the same time maintaining your weight distribution over the chair's center of gravity. Once elevated, bring your hands back to the 12 o'clock position. Then, if the chair wants to fall backward or forward, pull or push in the direction of the fall to compensate for balance. Beginning to learn this skill is in part working through the problem of overcorrection. Once learned, corrective technique is subtle. When you do overcorrect and begin to fall too far back, your correction response has to be quick to prevent falling over. Practice and patience will build your sense of balance and confidence that you will extend to your practice of the dynamic wheelie. Learning how to lighten the weight on your front casters without elevating them is a good place to begin. Just before you approach a small barrier, give a quick pop from the power stroke position. You're controlling only the slightest of lift without maintaining it, to minimize any jarring effect the barrier offers. The dynamic wheelie is extending this control over distance. From a static wheelie position, let the front drop while giving additional forward strokes to recover. Keep repeating the process, being careful to neither push too slow and easy and not maintain elevation, or too hard, causing you to overpop and possibly tip over backward. Remember to compensate for overpopping with quick reverse strokes. As you practice your skills, you should be aware of the potential of losing your balance and tipping over in your chair. If you feel yourself falling back and can't recover, don't reach back to break your fall. Bring your hands to your knees to prevent your knees from coming back into your face, and tuck your head. After you catch your breath, work yourself out of the chair and set the chair in its upright position. The ground-to-chair transfer is an advanced skill expectation for most wheelchair users, requiring a good amount of strength. To lower your seat and prepare for this transfer, consider using your chair cushion. It will also provide comfort, protection, and additional height. Position your chair facing your dominant side to take the best advantage of both leverage and strength. Initially, you may also choose to remove or reposition the footrests, straighten the casters, and apply wheel locks. For additional support during the transfer, tuck in one or both of your legs. This gives a slight spring action during the lift. To begin the transfer, position your ground hand to provide the greatest support and balance. Then push off and pull up in one motion. Be sure to keep your head low and your back end high as you pivot into place. Now adjust your position. The transfer is accomplished in stages. The initial lift, followed by shifting your upper body back into the chair. Use the chair frame or work your arm in stages up your leg. Finally, replace the footrests and the cushion. Use the back push handle for support as you pick up your cushion. To replace, it will take some work as you shift your weight up, then back and forth, working the cushion under you. Grip both the tire and the cushion. Alternate shifting your weight up with adjusting the cushion and finally yourself back into position. The forward approach is another transfer method. Use your head to support your position, freeing your hands to grasp the chair frame, and pull yourself up onto the seat, pivoting into place. Limitation of grip is the cause of major skill variation for the lower quadriplegic using a manual chair. Key to maneuvering the chair is the use of friction rims to provide a non-slip surface for adapted grip technique. Forward motion uses primarily the push rim. Your thumb is placed between the push rim and wheel with your palm on top of the rim. Apply pressure against the tire and down on the push rim during your forward stroke. The same grip is used in backward motion. Appropriate well-fitted gloves are increasingly important with limitation of grip. Gloves allow for increased friction and pressure without discomfort or injury. Slowing and stopping is accomplished by rolling your hands to the underside of the rim, applying pressure up and in. For a quicker stop, use the underside of your forearm against the rim from mid-palm to upper forearm. To turn while in motion, use a slowing grip in the direction of the turn while continuing forward motion with the other arm if additional force is required. The wheelie is a skill thought of as an advanced expectation for this motor control group, yet worth the time to learn and master. To practice a static wheelie, sit well back in your chair and give the hand rims a power push forward, elevating the front casters. Roll arms, palms and forearms, forward underneath the push rim, pressing up and into the rim, making corrections for balance. A dynamic wheelie used more on inclines progresses from the static wheelie. After elevating the front end, continue with a power stroke, then roll arms to a slowing grip to control speed and balance down the incline. Gloves are recommended because extended pressure can build up heat against your hand. Again, the ground-to-chair transfer is an advanced skill expectation, especially for the higher disability levels. Some variations for a lower quadriplegic are, first, the intermediate step of sitting up on the foot plates. Avoid sitting on any object that might cause injury. Elevate your ground hand for greater leverage. With limited grip function, hand placement is key to applying lifting pressure. Be creative with your problem solving, as in this means of using one's teeth to hold the leg in position. Bent knees, again, will assist in lifting you into position. Brace your hand against your leg to lift your upper body back into the chair. Adjust your position in the seat by bracing your hands against the corners of the frame. Then place your legs on the footrests. Finally, to replace the chair cushion, you may choose to transfer to another surface of equal height, then transferring back to your chair. When grip or muscle function is lost or severely limited, projection hand rims will allow the higher quadriplegic to use a manual chair with some technique variation. Forward motion is accomplished by placing hands palms forward against wheel projections and pushing through the stroke. After initial power strokes, again from the 10 to 2 o'clock position, maintain your speed by just catching a moving projection or the tire surface. To move backward, place the thumb joint between the tire rim and projection at the 2 o'clock position. Use your body weight and shoulder muscles to pull back. Slowing or stopping for the projection rim user, whether on a flat surface or down an incline, is accomplished by rolling the wrists palms down under the push rim at the 2 o'clock position. Apply upward pressure using your wrist extensors, biceps, and shoulder muscles. In a stationary turn, use the forward stroke from a projection at the 10 o'clock position and a backward stroke from the 2 o'clock position. To turn in motion, apply slowing pressure in the direction of the turn while continuing forward motion on the other rim when necessary. Projection rim users need to take special care assessing an incline and their own limitations of strength and endurance. When accessing an incline, use quick power strokes and, as ability permits, reinforced with a head and shoulder forward lean. Use a slowing grip coming down an incline to control speed. And, of course, gloves are recommended, especially at this disability level. In a ground-to-chair transfer, a higher quadriplegic may have to ask for assistance and provide good instructions. Wheel lock should be applied first. The chair is on its back, the cushion in place. Rest on your side facing away from the chair. Grasping under the shoulders, the transfer starts by shifting your upper body to the back of the chair. Next, your legs will be lifted from under the knees and placed on the footrests. Using your helper's leg or a back push handle, pull yourself into the chair. The final stage is placing you and the chair in an upright position. Holding a push handle and supporting the shoulders, your helper, lifting with their legs, will set you up into place. Be sure and tuck your head and support your knees in position. Then apply upward pressure under the push rims to support your body position. A two-person fireman's carry is recommended when a second person is available to assist. Learned skills, a combination of knowledge, understanding, judgment, and proficiency that comes with training and practice. The wheelchair skills you are learning are acquired in small measures and with a great deal of patience and determination. Over time, you will make these skills your own, skills that you will apply in constantly changing situations.